Tung Su Ms. Zelvin, Tung Su's back.
Tung Su, sir.
Tung Su's some version of Bosco's. There's Victor. I see Cy Blasi lounging. Ved, is that, oh wait, is that now a stick game on the ground? Ah, field hockey. Tung Su Master Vendetti.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
On their way in. Correct. So it's leadership. And here's the definition. I'm not going to do this with verbal feedback from you guys because of some of the audio issues we were having. Leadership means the qualities, traits, and vision that make others look up to and want to follow someone. So qualities, traits, and vision that make others look up to and want to follow someone. And I want to let you guys know, whether you're in the leadership program or not, we have a very specific path that we use as a school to teach people leadership. And leadership is always, at its heart, started first by example. So becoming a good leader means you first learn to give your best. So I'm not taking questions. Put it down. I don't want to look at your armpit. Thank you. So leaders must first be committed to doing their best in every situation. Okay. Second of all, leaders must be good teammates and team members. Okay. There are people who are born leaders, but that doesn't mean that the minute they walk in a room, they become a leader. It means that they understand what it takes to get to a point where others are willing to follow. Because the fact is, if you stand up and declare yourself a leader, if nobody follows, then you're just full of wind. And the way you get people to follow is first by leading by example, right? And then understanding what it takes to be a member of a good team, following someone and knowing how to do that effectively is part of it. And after that, we'll start on higher level leadership concepts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my normal here, take my screen. You guys are all muted already. We are recording. So we are going to rock and roll. Yeah, I'm going to ask Mr. Z to set the mirror up. We're going to start off with 50 jumping jacks. When you hear me say begin, just start going. I'm going to let Mr. Z get into this. Okay, so ready. Trip. Good stuff about you. Good. Okay, 50 jumping jacks. Staying together. Counting out loud, even though we can't hear each other. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. Good. Okay. From here, we're going to do front and back lunges again. We're only going to do 5 aside, right? Again, remember, knee over ankle. Knee doesn't shoot out over toes. Try not to put your foot down if you have to. You can come to here and then step back, but I would prefer you just went right from your front lunge and pushed off into your back lunge, okay? So from here, 5 aside. It's going to be forward, back, and that's what? Ready, forward and back. 1, forward and back. 2, forward and back. 3, forward and back. 4, forward and back. 5. Okay, I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to switch directions for you guys, okay? Same thing, this leg first. Ready? Forward and back. 1, forward and back. 2, forward and back. 3, forward and back. 4, last one, forward and back. 5. Good, so that should have us get a little blood flow to our legs. We're not going to do a ton of kicking. We did a lot of kicking last week. We're not going to do a ton of kicking here. So everybody right leg back. Yeah. Still want to get loose. I'll put a riggy front stretch kicking. Hold 10 times this side with a replacement step. Ready, hana, tool, say, nay, tasso, yasso, yugo, yudo, out, kia. Good, replacement step. I was a little clumsy on my part, okay. Other side, same thing, ready, hana, tool, say, nay, tasso, yasso, yugo, yudo, hope, kia. Good, okay. So from here, legs wide. What we're going to do today, from here, okay, sitting down to this side, we're going to do some walking techniques. What I'm going to do, we're going to do one side. We're not going to keep moving forward, obviously. Good. Now switch sides. We're going to do one. So if we do number one, low block, middle punch, high block, then we're going to go right into the turn. When we turn, we're only going to do the first move. But turning is something that I've seen a lot of people have trouble with, right? So the junior belts who have trouble knowing which foot to turn and how to do it and so on. The senior belts, the black belts, okay, we're going to sit deeper, both heels on the ground. You're going to learn how to turn and put power into all of the techniques, even when you turn. There's a tendency for some of these to get flat, and you got to do some counter rotating. Other side to find it, okay? So like I said, we're going to do the full walking technique a few times each side, but we're going to turn it afterwards. Back the other side, go a little deeper. Good, other side a little deeper. Good, now feet together both, same time. Again, opening the hips, chest is up. Sit down nice and deep, hands up. Little active hamstring here. Heels in. And up. Good, okay, borrow. And as I said, I'm gonna watch the clock because I wanna make sure when I'm done with this class, I have enough time to download it so we can save it and then get prepped for, you know, we got a lot of stuff we're trying to do. I'm hoping to have so much that by the time we get to Saturday's class, everything will be in place and we'll just, but we have a lot of ducks to line up right now. So everybody face here. Nida, say kamsamnida. Tangsu. Good, so I want to show you guys really quickly what we're going to do forward and backward. The senior belts will understand this right away. So if we're doing walking technique number one, it's going to be low block, middle punch, high block, and then we're going to learn to turn it. So if I kept going and I ran out of space and I had to turn, I look over my back shoulder, I pull my back foot in and I end up going that way. So if I did, and I'm going to show you the other direction because I'll do the full walking technique going away from you, and then I'll turn it toward you to show you what we're doing. So I'm going to do low block, middle punch, like that, and then I'm going to prepare to turn. And just that first move. I don't want you doing a bunch of techniques away from the screen because you're worrying about what I'm doing. So I just want you to do the turn. Showing you this from the side. So I step out, low block, middle punch. 1, 2, right? So if I've got my left foot closest to you right now, this is my left foot. When I turn, my left foot will still be closest to you. My right foot will have moved from this side to this side and I'll be facing that way. Okay? So everybody, train attention. Okay, so we're going to do about 3 each side, and I'm going to try and cover a fair amount of ground. We're going to do this all week long. I'm going to focus on the upper body ones. The kicking ones when you're turning from here, 1, 2, 1, 2, like this. Not as hard, okay? So, because then I want to get to the block sets. And I saw, based on who's on, I was going to do knife set, but probably just skip right to dragon set. We'll do dragon set and tiger set a little bit, okay? Oh, and as for the senior belts, so middle punch, inside out block. If I'm going away from you, doing that middle punch to get turn into it there. If it's a junior belt and they go like this and like that, that's fine. But you don't have body rotation in that. So you guys, the senior belts, black belts particularly, should be looking to, after you do your middle punch, and set up like, yeah, you should be looking for a situation where you can turn and drive your hip back into it, okay? So from here, everybody to me. So number one is low block, middle punch, high block. I'm gonna do it a little more methodically. We've got a couple of junior belts on this. Senior belts, as long as you're not sloppy with your chambers, that's what we see in this more than anything. People super sloppy with their chambers and super lazy with their stances. And I asked the last class, it's the basic class, and it applies to everybody. If I asked you all to raise your hand if you ever had a chocolate chip cookie, my guess is everybody's hand would go up. Then I'd ask you if all the chocolate chip cookies you had were equally good, and the answer would be no. I've had chocolate chip cookies that I wish I had spit out because I got no pleasure out of eating it, and I got the calories anyway. Everybody can do a front stance, but some of you guys have stinky chocolate chip cookies for front stances. So let's work on that together, okay? So from here, 2B. Number one is low block, middle punch, high block. This hand is gonna go on top. You're gonna step with this foot, like the first moving basic block set. So, stepping out, low block, aim, middle punch, under, high block, yeah! Now here's the turning part. Chamber like you were gonna do that again on the other side, right? But then you're gonna look over the shoulder that's on this side. It's your back foot, it's your right foot. When I say Torah, put your back foot in, and then step right back away from the camera. Low block, like that, just a low block. If the senior belts want to do all three techniques, they can. Okay, borrow. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. Here, we're stepping forward with this foot, which means this foot is gonna be closest to the camera even after I turn. So this hand on top, stepping forward, low block, aim, middle punch, cross under, yeah. Now just chamber like you were gonna step forward, but look over, look, I even turn my back heel in a little bit. Hurrah, pull it in, step back out, yeah. Now you're going away.
Good job, Glenda.
What was that, Master Vendetti?
I was just telling Glenda, good job.
Good job, that's tough. I remember learning it myself, and I was an adult. I was probably a yellow belt when I learned it, but it doesn't matter. Once you get it down, it should be fairly easy, okay? So we'll do that side one more time, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So from here, this hand on top. Remember, 1, 2, and 3 walking techniques are advanced brown to red. You need to know them as advanced brown belts, and you need to memorize them. This foot stabs, ready. Low block, aim, middle punch, cross, yeah.
Ved, switch hands so the hand that high blocks is the same side as the foot that's out.
Thank you, and I'll address that on the next one. So I prepare to turn, I look over my back shoulder, back foot comes in, and then the same foot goes right out, yeah, low block. So imagine, the other thing that you can imagine is, I'm standing at the bottom of a V. Here, I'll show. And in case you can't hear it, Thrive just started another class. So here's my V. So I step out from here, right? And I go low block, middle punch, high block here, right? Actually, that's where my V is. D-row in, Torah here. So in essence, what I do is I'm standing here and I step out to the top of the V. Low block, middle punch, high block. And now that is where I need to end up. So that's another visual, but you guys have to fight to find your own way to remember this. It's different for everybody. Okay, everybody tune in, we'll do the same thing on the side. So this hand on top. You never do a technique twice with the same hand in walking techniques. That's not true the kicking ones, because you do the same, you use the same foot for 2 kicks in a row on some of them, okay? So this hand on top, this foot step out, good front stance, low block, aim, middle punch, cross your arms, yeah. Now D-row, 1, 2, look over your back shoulder. Remember, we're working on our walking techniques, but now we switch gears and we're working on our turning. Torah, back foot comes in, here's my V and steps out, yeah. And you can see how I travel. So if I'm standing here with my high block, sorry, I'll back up so you can see all of me. If I'm standing here with my high block and I go like this, I'm actually, you can see where I am, just on this side of the Korean flag. When I come in and step back out, see how far I went? That's because my back foot's moving. It's actually moving 2 shoulder widths, okay? So Chubi, one more time. I'm sorry, 2 more times. This hand on top, stepping out, low block, middle punch, high block. Yeah.
Also, make sure you're punching where you're aiming. That's the point of the aim.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to make sure that my rifle, the sight on my rifle points in that direction so that the bullet goes that way. It's the same thing. So looking over your back shoulder, pull your back foot in, step back out. Yeah. And borrow. And I'm also trying to make sure, particularly when I'm doing this slowly, whenever I do it, I'm trying to put some speed in that technique. What Ms. Linton was talking about was low block aim. If I'm doing this and doing that, it makes no sense. So you see, if you look at my body, it's right where my uniform comes together, and so is that. The only reason it's not covering is because I turn my chest a little bit when I'm doing a reverse punch. But it's going to the exact same spot. So from here, stand on top. This is the last one for number 1. Stepping out, low block, middle punch, high block. Yeah. Now D-row, like this. Look over your back shoulder. You can even, like I said, sit down like a side stance. Put your back foot in. Torah, slide in, step out. Yeah. And again, like I said, black belts particularly. If you want to do a full one when you turn, that's fine, as long as your chambers are nice and clean. So chumbi. So number 2, we're going to start on our left side. Number 2 is middle punch, cross, inside out block. A couple weeks ago, actually it was more than a month ago. Can you believe that? We did a virtual class on these. The number of techniques is different than the cadence or the count, right? So this is 3 techniques. It's a punch, and it's an inside out block. But the count is 1, 2, 3, 4. People skip step 3. We see 1, 2, 3. That doesn't work, and it won't work to save you if you need to defend yourself. So chubby. So from here, middle punch, inside out block. Again, all in front stance. Yank. 1, 2, cross. Yeah. Now D-row. Aim like you were going to go forward, and then wrap this around. Black belts, remember, you're looking for hip rotation. Hurrah, put your back foot in, and then step back out. Yeah. Punch with the hand at your side. So again, remember, whatever foot is closest to me when you turn should be closest to me when you're finished turning, but they're both pointing the other way. 1, 2, like that, okay? So here we go. Again, number 2. 1, 2, cross. Yeah. Aim and wrap. This is your aim. Because I'm aiming with this hand, I can't punch with it. Hurrah, pull my back foot in. Yeah. And again, I just want to show the black belts what they're looking for. Stay right there for a second. So I just did this. I'm inside out block. I wrap. I'm going to open my shoulder and rotate back in with good time. Okay? So, one more time. This side. Number 2. 1, 2, cross. Yeah. D-row. Aim. Wrap. Torah. Pull back. Yeah. And I cheated on that one a little bit. I felt it. When I came back here, I stepped out a little with that foot. I know when I do that. Okay, so the same thing, other side. Excuse me. We're doing 3 at a time. We'll only do 3 of these. So remember, when we do this side, for the black belts, again, 1, 2. Yeah. See the body rotation. Like that, okay? So from here, number 2 walking technique, 3 times on the side. Ready? Punch, punch, cross. Yeah. Now D-row, wrap it around, sit deep, Torah, put his back foot in, step out. Yeah.
Good job, Ethan.
This is tough stuff. Ethan Stackhouse, if you're keeping up with this, that's pretty impressive. The concept is what you need to get. So if you mess up with your hands, but you get your feet moving in the right direction, it'll be easier, I think. So, good. So from here, this is number 2 rep on this side. Ready? Middle punch. 1, punch, 2, cross. Yeah. Aiming and wrapping. Let that back foot in. Torah. Yeah. You see how much distance I'm covering. I start dead center. Actually, what I should do, I'm going to start in the screen. So like here is about halfway across the screen from what I'm seeing. I'll bet you I end up on the other side of the half when I'm done with this, okay?
Master Barnes, before we do the last rep, can I remind everybody that their punches should hurt something if they hit?
Oh, no, no, no. I really want to be able to punch so softly that it just makes somebody mad. Right? I really do. I want to learn to drive and never get anywhere. Right? So that's the point. If you're going to throw a punch, remember, karate's not about how to punch, it's about when to punch, but the how does matter because if you decide to do it, it should probably work. Okay? So, aiming. And Mr. Donahue, I know, and Ms. Zelvin and Mr. Minikowski and some of the other adults can tell you, there's nothing more frustrating than getting in a car and turning the key and it not turning on. In other words, when the car doesn't work, it's horrible. So, your punch needs to work too. Step in, ready. Remember, I'm starting. This is your center line on the screen. Right? Punch, punch, cross. Yeah. Now, D-row, wrap, hurrah. Yeah. Wow, look. I cross center line and I'm a little bit square. Good borrow. The last one's going to be challenging. The last one's going to be challenging. I'm doing it because it's another chance for the senior belts. I mean, advanced brown belts need to know this, so whether it's challenging or not. But to the senior belts, it's another one where you've got to find a way to get that rotation. I'm going to show you sideways. So it's side punch horse stance, right down like this. Reach under with your lead hand, inside out block. Reach under with your lead hand, low X block. Yeah. Good, and then when I turn from here, D-row, it's actually not as hard, but Torah, you've got that same feeling of rotating past center and coming back. Okay, so we're gonna start on our left side. It's side punch horse stance, inside out block fighting stance, low X block front stance. 3 stances, 1 technique. So, aiming like this, stepping out, side punch horse stance. 1, punching hand goes under, other hand on top. Don't stand up, stay low, slide back, turn your foot forward. Inside out block 2, fighting stance. See this hand disappear. Reach under with that hand, step out. Yeah. Now, I'm moving this way, actually. D-row, I forgot to switch sides, so I point back here. Torah, put my back foot in, step out in the horse stance. Yeah. Right, and it looks crooked because of the angle of the camera. But if you look at that line right there, I'm dead parallel with it. All right, I gotta start on the other side. Okay, so from here, number 2 rep, side punch horse stance, inside out block fighting stance, low X block front stance. Yike. Side punch horse stance. Remember, reach under, get your chambers right, invest the time now, slide back, stay low, inside out block fighting stance. Look at how low my stance is. Good. Reach under, low X block front stance. Yeah.
Good job.
Aim like you were going forward, wrap past your back shoulder. I'm actually going to be punching right here. Torah, open the shoulder, step out. Yeah. Black legs, you should really be driving off that back leg when you come back into your horse stance punch. All right, so one more time, this side. Aiming. Turning sideways, this foot, stepping out. 1, reach under, slide back. 2, reach under, shift forward. Yeah. D-row, aim. Point past your back shoulder. Look, I kick this knee in a little bit. That's fine, that's allowed. It's actually encouraged. Torah, sit back. Yeah. And borrow. Now, one nuance again for everybody, but particularly for the senior belts, and they've heard this a million times, but I'm going to tell them anyway. When you're stepping out with your right, and your hands chambered like this at your side, you got to leave your knuckles pointed where you're going. So they're behind you right here. And again, that looks cockeyed. I'm not sure it's the angle of the camera. It looks cockeyed to me. It's because I'm teaching with that computer rather than this one. I'll switch that up. So, same thing, we're starting with our right side. So aiming. Keep your elbow not just behind you, but keep your elbow pointed at the wall behind you right there. As you step out, stepping out, side punch, horse stance. 1, under, slide back inside block. 2, under, shift front stance. Yeah. Ooh, I forgot to shift to the other side. D-row, aim, right? Pull this foot back in, open the chest. Yeah, horse stance punch going away from you. All right, keep forgetting to shift over a little bit. So, because I know I'm turning and going back that way. So,
Master Barnes,
yeah.
it's good that most of you are trying to get the X block low enough, but try doing that by bending your knee, not bending your back over.
Oh, Ms. Linton is absolutely correct. Remember what a low X block is designed for. Thank you, Ms. Linton. So, a low X block, remember, if this foot's in back, this hand has to be on top. A low X block is designed to protect my groin. Not from a midget kicking up, but from a full-size person kicking here. But what Ms. Linton is saying, I'll do it on this side, is So if this is my normal position for low block, a low X block, I'm gonna do that. I'm never ever gonna do that. Because all that does, you see how much space between my head and my front knee? Right? I never wanna put my head closer to somebody who's trying to hurt me, ever. Right? Okay, so thank you, Ms. Linton. And by the way, if Ms. Linton and Master Vendetti and I all sat down and said, okay, walking technique number 1, what are we gonna have to fix? Come up with a list of 5 things. I guarantee you every single one of them would be applicable, which is crazy to me because they're the 5 things we emphasize the most. In this one, we know people are gonna deliver their low X block in 2 pieces. People are gonna go from a horse stance and then they're gonna stand up. All those things are gonna happen. We know this, okay? And that means you can fix it. You can make us look bad by not giving us the satisfaction of correcting them again and making us feel like we know what we're doing. This foot stepping, this is number 2, stepping out. Again, side punch, horse stance 1. Reach under, inside out block 2. Reach under, low X block. Yeah. Good, now D-row, again. This is my lead leg. I'm gonna point it past my back shoulder. Hurrah, back, stepping out. Yeah, horse stance punch. Good, and borrow. Good, and again, I got to offset here, but I got to teach that camera, which is driving me crazy. It's all confusing. Good, okay. Stepping out with this foot. Side punch horse stance. 1. Reach under. Reach under, slide back. Inside out block 2. Somebody just dropped a hugely heavy weight next door. Reach under, low X block. Yeah. So, and again, you see, this is my normal front stance. I'm pushing forward. It's okay if my knee goes out over my toes for this position. Good, okay, D-row. Aiming with this hand. Wrapping it around. Hurrah! Open your chest. Yeah! And bar off. So, we're done with that face here. If you get there, Niba, say, Kang Sang Nida. Kung Su. It's funny, we talked about leadership. And step 1 is leading by example, doing your best all the time. You don't have to be the best at something to be a leader in that field. You really don't. You don't have to be the best technically. You have to be the best at some things, but not everything. So we talk about this first, step 1 is giving your best every single time. And this is a harder concept, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. A lot of you guys have no idea what your best is. You stop before you're done. You don't push yourself just a little bit past. Because I can tell you from my own experience, it's the people who I think, oh, they're done. I got them, or oh, they're done. They gotta stop. And they keep going. That's doing your best. That's impressing somebody with your effort. That's gonna go a long way, okay? So, everybody, we're gonna work on our block sets really quickly. Everybody, trick. Now, everybody remind me, Chumbi, we've come up with some hopefully effective, certainly innovative and out of the box thinking ways to see if we can enhance training when you guys get back here without violating anything or putting anybody in danger. So I've got some, just one of the props that I think we're gonna use. So, everybody say dragon sit, sir. Chambering like this. This foot steps out. Remember, stepping out. Low knife. Hands come back. Both hands. High knife. Knuckles to front hip. Step forward. Fighting stance. Reinforced block like this. Good. Okay. Cross your wrists. Stepping forward. Front stance. Double inside block. Double low block. I'm going to shuffle here so I can continue to see my feet. Pull your hands back. Step forward. Double punch. I'm shuffling. I'd be moving forward. This hand on top. Stepping out. Hammer fist. Horse stance. High block. Sitting down nice and deep. Pull your hands away. Shift. Strike. Good. Now remember, back leg front kick, and Ms. Linton's going to tell you right now how many people are going to do a stepping back fist versus a leaping back fist. She knows this for a fact because she was correcting it earlier. Good. I see Sai Blasi doing something other than dragon set. I can see it in the mirror right here. Oh, good. Oh, he already got ahead of me. You do that all the time, Sai. Good. Back leg front. Kick. Yeah. And this is what I did. Sorry, you couldn't see my feet. Kick. Boom, like that. Good, slide up, Kung Su. We're gonna do that side one more time. We're gonna do right side once. And then we're gonna move into tiger set because I wanna get a couple reps of tiger set. But like I said, we've got some time concerns here. I wanna make sure we get a good 35, 40 minutes in. But, so, every 2 One more time, say dragon sit, sir. Chambering like this. Good. Turn your hips, stepping out. Low knife, high knife. Knuckles to front hip, stepping out, fighting stance. Reinforced block. Crossing your wrists, stepping out, double inside block. double low block. Pull back, double punch. This hand on top. Stepping out, hammer fist, horse stance, high block. Hands come away. And I know I'm moving fast for Tricia and Pragya and Victor and some of the junior belts. Shift, strike. Remember, bring your knee to your elbow and leave it there. Back leg front. Kick. Yeah. Slide up, tongue soup. Good, back up quickly.
Master Barnes, really quickly, I'd like to point out that this block set has lots of different stances, so they all have to look different from each other. Your front stance cannot look like your fighting stance, and that can't look like your horse stance.
Yeah, it's funny. I keep hearing the same things that I'm saying, that Master Vendetti's saying, that Ms. Linton's saying, that Master Kaufman's saying, over and over and over again. And I'm really amazed that it seems that other people don't, because that's one of the most important things. There's no way to make a good horse stance look like a good front stance. There's no way, because I have to straighten one leg, because I have to square my hips like that. They can't look the same. I can't have a good front stance and make it look like a fighting stance. It just doesn't work. And the reason is the weight's different in each one. Half my weight here, half my weight here. 60% here, 40% here. And I actually believe that that's a misnomer. It's a little more if you're pushing forward here. 3/4 here, 1/4 here. There is no way, if you don't shift the position of your feet and the orientation of your hips, that you can have two stances look the same. It's impossible. So if your stances look similar, it means you're not understanding something, okay? The other thing, and I just want to say this for the senior belts, I'm thinking about this. I think all the senior belts, and I'm thinking black belts, first, second dons, third dons. When you're doing this, you know all the right pieces. You do all the right things, but if you don't do them in the right sequence, that's where the power leaks are, right? So you're here, hammer fist, horse stance, high block. You're going from here, having all this happen at the right time is what you're looking for. And that's going to be the aha moment, right? We talked about front kick. A lot of you have probably talked about front kick and foot position a lot, right? Like that. You'll finally be like, yeah, I got it. And then it'll disappear. You'll keep pursuing it, and you'll do it 2 out of 10 times. And then you'll do it 3 out of 10 times, and so on and so forth, okay? So reach your knee. Good. Other side, say dragon's head serve. Remember, 1 rep here. This hand in front, this hand by my side. I'm turning sideways, stepping out. Low knife, both hands disappear. High knife. Knuckles to front hip, fighting stance, reinforced block. Cross your wrists, stepping forward. Double inside block, double low block. And that's one of the reasons for the senior belts. One of the reasons I think about this so much. This doesn't provide me any hip rotation. I can't rotate into it because if I'm strengthening this block, I'm weakening this one. So from here, this allows me pinch my shoulders together, snap open, snap closed. Good. Pull back, double punch. This hand, remember, whatever foot's in back, that hand on top, stepping out, hammer fist, horse stance, high block. Now remember, pull your hands away. This hand's gonna high block. Shift, high block, and a strike. Good. Now from here, back leg front kick, and then hop. It's a leaping back fist. So kick, yeah. Slide up, tongue soup, and back up. Mr. Z, by the way, when you unplug that, your brightness drops. That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No. Sorry. Just. Thank you. Good. Okay. One more time. I'm sorry. We're gonna move into tiger set now. I'm doing tiger set because based on the people in this class, we need a lot of reps on this. There's spinning in this. There's timing. There's stance shifting and all sorts of stuff. We're gonna try for 2 reps. Okay. So I know this is gonna leave some of you behind. That's fine. But like Hunter Bosco, who just getting his feet back under him, he'd taken a break and he was back. This is a little scary, but this is something you need to know. So everybody chumbi. So everybody say tiger sit sir. Tiger sit chumbi. Here. Now, remember I talked about this. It's like you're trying to stay here and somebody grabs your hands, your wrists, and they start pulling them around and you're resisting. The shoulders have to follow and then the hips. And for me, I get to about here and I feel my heels slipping out. So I pick them up and I turn like that, okay? So for the junior belts, just turn and try and do what I'm doing. So from here, pulling my hands, I'm resisting, twisting. This hand comes on top. Yeah. High hand goes on top. Spin. Feet come together. Notice I didn't shuffle. Crossing. defense, punch. Chambering across, back leg side kick. Kick, re-chamber, double low block. And I'm gonna back up. Now, just like we did in Dragon Set, hands are here, but I've got to spin backwards, right? So I'm gonna turn away from you, turn all the way the other way, spinning, front stance. This is from where we did the kick and the leaping back fist. We're doing something different here. Big chamber, push deep. I got Bosco's. I can see them for a second. I don't know what they did, but Hunter was staring at the computer. This hand on top, step back, horse stance, chop. Solar plexus high, punch, same spot, twist.
Oh.
I turn my feet, look at my legs straight. Aim, punch. I saw Hunter Bosco again. Twist, and he didn't tuck his shirt in today. Block. Reach under. Now I'm gonna do this the way it's supposed to be done. If I push back, here, you see how it takes me off center, okay? So from here, crescent, jump, spinning, crescent, here, okay? So crescent, put it down, spin, jump, spinning, elbow, and again, I'm back up, elbow, down, 2, 3, pull back, yeah! Slide up, tongue su. I know that's a lot, I know it's a lot. Try and follow along. The one thing I want the senior belts to know is knife set and tiger set move off their line. They have to. If I go from here and step out here in knife set, remember I did low knife, high knife, spinning chop. I'm going to go shoulder width that way. Tiger set does it right there. It's not my place to critique Master Samana, whoever came up with that technique. Okay, so Chumi, but just understand that that's going to happen. So one more time, tiger set Chumi. Here we go, twisting. Remember, this foot steps first. Step, hook behind. Yeah. High block on top, pivot, low block. See, this hand up like this. Low blocking hand under. Side stance. Notice I didn't turn this foot. Punch. Chamber your hands across, otherwise they fly everywhere. You got to get a full pivot. That's the hard part about this kick. So from here, full pivot with a side kick, double low block. I'm going to back up for the second part so you can keep seeing. Here, remember, got to spin backwards. So it's my left foot. It's got to go all the way around. Not 180 degrees, not quite 270, so it's 225 degrees. That's how far it's got to go. Here. And then on top, now from here, I'm going to go even deeper. See how parallel here. Shift back, and I'm going to shift center, chop, punch, remember, twist, let your hips go, punch, twist, cross, remember this is where I get off center, here. Now remember, open, we're going to hit it twice, and I'm not going to do it quite so slowly. I'm going to go crescent 360 jump, spinning crescent. I know I'm going to leave some people behind. So from here, crescent, jump, spinning crescent, down, 2, 3, yeah.
Great job, Trisha.
And groin. Good. Slide up, tongue su. Wow, that's really impressive, Trisha. That's advanced brown. That's brown, advanced brown level material. Okay, everybody face your trick. You bow. Come to me down. Tongue su. We're running out of time. I'm not supposed to do the same thing. He's got to throw the cube at me once. One time, one thing. You got to hit me in the chest.
All right, that was
You know,
a lot of pressure.
I caught him off. I can't tell you what he just rolled for you. Catch. Sorry, oh, I'm sorry, I hit you in the shoulder. We're not doing water break. It's in your bag, in the little bag. I'm gonna stand closer. That's all right.
Excuse me, Master Barnes.
Yes.
Is there an elbow strike before the first crescent kick, sir?
Oh, you're right. Yes. Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Donahue. Let me go back. So we got 25 crunches. I step back, elbow back fist. You're right, Mr. Donahue. So from here, I went here. I step back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross, elbow back fist. And I apologize. I did leave that out. Thank you, Mr. Donahue, very much for catching that. We're going to do this all week, so I won't leave it out again. Mr. Z rolled 25 crunches, which seems to be he rolled water break for the first time, and you guys don't get a water break. And 25 crunches the second time. So he's rolled it 3 times today, 25 crunches twice. and water break once. 25 crunches, okay? So remember, shoulders off the ground. Ready? Here we go. Up, 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, up, 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 10.
On side.
1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, up, 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 20, up, 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, 5. Good. Okay, yep. Turn on, fix uniforms. You're going to turn back around. Attention. So face your feet together. Nibase, Kamsamnida. Tangsu. Now again, Master Vendetti and Ms. Linton get a bow as well because while they're not in the studio with me, they've been here teaching you guys. Facing here. Cheerio. Nibase, Kamsamnida. Tangsu. So Mr. Z is going to grab the mirror. I'm going to come in and talk to you guys real quick. Again. Really quickly, I apologize. My mother's rolling over in her grave right now with that poor English, given the amount of money they spent on my education. Okay. Gallery view. And I'm going to unmute you guys and see how that works. Okay. So remember, one of the reasons I picked the walking technique approach that I did was because if somebody's singing or has a lot of stuff going on in the background, please stop. This is a chance to work on stuff that we don't normally get to spend that much time on. You guys are doing walking techniques, you turn in properly, we got a class of 20 people, we say, and off we go again, right? So you're in your own room, you're not distracted, you can do this, and I'm gonna focus on those levels of details because that's one of the reasons, that's one of the ways we'll come back stronger than before. Thank you to Mr. Donahue, by the way, for correcting that because I did leave that elbow back fist part out, and I apologize for that. We'll get that right if you guys can come back this week. And again, we're going to have an instructor meeting tonight, obviously not in person, to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we can actually do a Monday opening. But that's the plan as of now. You will get an email, and I'd like one more hand from Ms. Zelvin for all the help she gave us in terms of getting ready for this whole thing. It was another great, we're talking about leadership and teamwork and things like that. And she picked up the ball when I didn't really have the skill set to do it. She knew the right people and she helped me craft something. Because one of the things that we discussed was the fact that we didn't want to have to go back for a second time. We wanted to get it right the first time, so we didn't get somebody a chance to kind of say, oh, they were horrible before. So thank you, Ms. Delvin. And like I said, I will have plans, specifics, details, and confirmation for you guys very, very soon. So thanks to everybody. Great work, and hopefully we'll see you again on Tuesday. But you know what? I hope to see you guys.
Tangsu!
Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Jeffrey.